So yeah, let's continue talk about Scott Robertson, how to draw. So here, this chapter about detailing and sculpting surfaces. So basically it's like everything from previous chapters, just like how to use all them together. So we'll kind of briefly explain this stuff here. So what was previously? It's a drawing form with 3D curves, right? So we're using a Y, Z, and X axis to draw surfaces, right? So each surface is like two-dimensional, but within three-dimensional space, right? So we have like, for example, this surface is made from X axis and Y axis, right? So only two axes, two dimensions. If we have surface made from Z and X axis, so we will have this like kind of line flat surface, right? So this kind of like a standing. And Scott Robertson, like in the very beginning, he was explaining about also relationship between axis and planes surfaces, is that when we have this like X and Z axis to build this surface, then this surface will be related to Y axis as a like Y plane, because it's perpendicular to Y axis. Okay, so here we have X and Y, so this is Z plane. Here X and Z, it's a Y plane. And what else will remain? Yeah, let's say this Z and Y, right? So if we have Z and Y, then it's X plane, okay? Because it's 90 degree, it's perpendicular to X axis. So we don't use X axis to draw, to build surface of this plane. It's perpendicular to X axis, this kind of thing. So, and then every 3D object is consists from these three planes and these three axes, right? So when we previously draw stuff, so we have here right now, it's like in this case, it's like X plane, Y plane, which like side plane, side projection, and top projection. And on this we draw, basically we draw like a section cut, right? So it's like how object look if we cut it vertically. So it will be our like a side projection. Depends on which area we cut it also. So here in this case it's like we have middle cut, so it's just cut like right in the center of object. So this shape of this cut, this section cut, will show us side projection of a middle, of a center. So then here we have this vertical projection, Y plane. So it's kind of you looking downwards, right? And this down plane can show like, actually it can show like different widths and length of object. So depends. So it's like if it's kind of car, right? So we can have like overall shape. So it will be like this kind of a vertical projection from overall shape of a whole vehicle. And also we can have like a smaller shapes within this overall shape. It's like a shape of this like rooftop shape, like even like vertical projection of a front window, rear window, and how from a vertical projection look front lights and stuff like this. So just important to understand. So let's say we can establish it, and to make symmetry, there's like in Scott Robertson, he's explaining before about how to mirror this curve from one side to other side. And then when we make 3D curve, so what we have like a new let's show this way. So we kind of connect y-axis and other axis going through these points of these curves, and we have this new point. So this curve kind of exists in two system of coordinates. It's have a point of a curve, like each point of a curve is not a line on the one surface. It exists on both kind of x and y planes. That's why 3D curve. So let's say, okay. So now if I connect these points, so here is our 3D curve. So you see again, just kind of quick review, right? So 3D curve, not lying on a flat surface. When this curve is on the x surface and this curve is on a y surface, so they're flat. They're points lying on a flat surface. So then also what we get here, important to also kind of understand as a kind of main grammar from this system. It's now we have this z sections. So then we can have it for other side also. So if I mirror this 3D curve to other side, so then we have this section, these sections cut in the middle, right? So now we have like all these three surfaces, three planes, and three axes intact. So this again, x surface, y surface, and z surface. And then we can also now manipulate each of surface. So this kind of what this chapter is about. It's kind of like should be clear what you're doing. When we mapping points in perspective in a 3D space, basically it's like if you move in point on a flat surface, right? So it's like if we have right angle have 4 points, right? So we know like its scale, we know its size. Then you can put any amount of point on each edge of rectangle, and you can put point within a surface, so within this space. So having these coordinates, like 0.1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, right? We establish kind of like a create map where we can locate point. So I can, like, if I just randomly drop point, okay, like I know it's on a flat surface, so I can attach it to edges. And then I can, like, you know, if we create like a parallel universe here, right? So create like second surface, which is have exactly same proportions. I can, these points on the edge, I can transfer to edge of this new surface. And then whoop, whoop. And this is how I transfer, kind of map this point to other surface. So it's just kind of important to understand. And then now we also create another plane. So it's kind of a very fun and interesting aspect of it. So you always kind of creating cross sections. There is always, like, each point, it's belong to line, belong to axis, or belong to surface. And each surface is like a cross section, right? And now look, like here we can like not put just like one point, we can put like several points. And remember, like again, like if 2 points, okay, now we get line, straight line. If at least 3 points is kind of minimum requirement, we will have curve, right? No, it can be curve, or we can have 2 straight lines. If we straight connect them, it's 2 straight line, like A and B. If we make it smooth, then we have curve. So if we put more than 1 point, if we want to make kind of continuity of points, so we can kind of create this curve edge. We can like shape our surface, so it will be not just kind of right angle, but it can be like smooth round edge form. So if, for example, like here I have this right angle surface, now I can say 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here, right? So I have 3 points. These 3 points can connect, it will be curve. So now we have round edge instead of corner. So if I transfer this point here, up, up, and this point, I can, like, if I want to be super precise, I can transfer this way. So we have 1, 2, 3 point. Can connect. So, and we have soft edge instead of sharp. How we have this? By shaping cross section, by shaping this plane, right? So right now here we have this like rectangular, and we can round it, right? For example, like this. So I say I make curve from this point to this point, then I make curve from this point to this point, and then I can create continuity between different planes. So it's like here point, and they say it go here, and okay, let's go here. Same, this point, on the other surface. It will be here, and then it will be here, right? So now I can have this line which will show me edge over each curve side, right? So here, sharp angle, if it's going sides, kind of this. Now instead of sharp I have curve in here. And then when I have these points here, I can also mirror them to other side, right? And this points on the top, so and then so we have this curve go here. So like this. Up, up. So that's kind of what I want to clarify here. So let's take again half. So let's say here will be this curve. So create 3D curve here. 1, 2, 3. Let's make more sections. So again, you see, so we have this side cut, top cut, and now we have Z section cuts. So each of the Z. So in the previous, I were like cut, like in this example, right? I've been like cut from here. Here we will extend. So instead of cut, I will extend. And how I will do this? It's kind of many way how I can do this, if you understand principle. So first I can show like from the top how far extension will go by drawing outside curve. So let's say like this. Okay, so now I know as this far it goes. Now I have these points here. Okay, now I also can show, because like kind of like I want to create again this like soft edge for each of this section. So it will be extension with a soft edge. So soft edge, see, it's again, it's kind of this curve will be here, right? So, and I can choose like what is the ratio. It's like curve will go like this, or curve will be like this, right? So to establish this ratio, we see we have y axis and x axis. So here's my x axis I already established, and now I can choose like what with my y axis, like what kind of ratio will be. So, and to make this ratio, I will put points here, right? And I can also, like by having them like in a space, I can also make them look like a curve. So later it will be just kind of endless amount of points which I can use to build like more precise form, kind of, you know. So let's say here ratio, don't know, let's do like this, right? So establish points. Let's do like this. So then this line go like this. And now with this new section cuts, it's same situation, just one more time, right? So I build one more 3D curve. So from this I drop vertical here, x here, x here, vertical here. Just x here, vertical here, x here, vertical here. So now we have this 3D points here. Here I don't have y-axis because point line on the ground, right? So I only drop x, so it's intersect here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3D curve. Okay, so, and you see our Z cut now look like this. You see? So now each Z section, Z plane, Z section, cross section, cut, kind of call it whatever. And now I can do this like curved, right? So, and this like many way again, like how to work with this. So you can be more precise, so you will like make like corner, then you can drop like diagonal lines. So then you say, okay, point will be here, or you can drop diagonal to center and you say point will be here. Or like even Scott Robertson here, like he just drew it this way. But having this, right, you will anyway need this kind of measurements when you want to recreate curvature on the other side, because it's kind of this exercise about curve projection. So we'll show it on the next drawing. So here we just draw curve. And here. So here is funny way, it's kind of this Z section merge with Y section. Z plane merge with Y plane. So yeah, you see what we have, right? We have now, it's like soft edge, so it can be like a side of a vehicle. It can be like computer mouse and whatever, right? Then it's just like I want to make it clear because, you know, people, I don't know, maybe they go to this chapter and they start to already forget what they've been studied before. And I want to clarify that is always about same very, very essential basic principles like XYZ axis, XYZ planes. And when we work with very complex forms, you basically just like locating points. Like Scott Robertson say, it's drawing is just about connecting dots. That's it, right? So all you need is to understand where these dots should be, and then you know how to connect them. So, and these dots, they always lie on it's like certain axis, right? And this axis, to understand like location of it, you need to imagine it on a surface. Okay, so again we have point, it's nowhere, right? It start to be somewhere when we have like a surface. Let's say I can say like, where is this point according to this flat surface? I can say, okay, in here I have a y-axis behave in this way, right? As direction of my y-axis. So it means y-axis will go drop this way. And then still I have a lot of like uncertainty, like where it will pierce or drop down on this surface. It's like it might be here, or it might be here, it might be here, right? So let's say just say it's here, right? Oh, okay, so now we have point on a flat surface, and we know this point is like, you know, it's kind of like a cast shadow kind of. So it's like a anchor kind of. And then we can use measurements of a flat surface to like have exact location, because here is like, yeah, we have some kind of visual, but it's not clear. How we can do exact measurement? It's, look, we already, I say this is y-axis, right? But here we already also see where is x and z axis. X and z axis here, it's edges of the surface. So this, it's x axis. And this is z axis. So you can see like z axis more converge than x almost parallel. So from only surface, I can already like expand it into perspective grid. So all I need to do is just like extend this edges like to all my paper, right? And then so can like subdivide here in the middle, and now I have this ratio. And also you, after some practice, you will kind of able to eyeball this ratio, how it's extend, because principle here is very simple. When we don't have conversion, right, you just drop parallel lines, like y-axis here is just same parallel line, we don't have any conversion, right? When we have conversion, it means parallel lines, they're pointing towards vanishing point. So they're convergent towards, they kind of like a showing to vanishing point. So like, hey, vanishing point there, right? So I have this direction. I say, oh, vanishing point there. So all I need is kind of like keep pointing towards this direction. It's like you're walking in a street and somebody asks like, where is 7-Eleven? You show it's here, right? Then you walk like 20 meter and somebody again asks, where's 7-Eleven? You will point towards 7-Eleven, not like, you will not show same direction of your where's my hands? Yeah, direction will be changed because you move, right? So here, if I make a line from here, I will show towards vanishing point. And this how it's kind of like require little practice, little experience. So you will get feeling of this. Also, kind of think about this is not super precise, but it works for human perception. Because as artist, you imitate space. You're not kind of create 3D model like on a computer. If you want precise 3D model, make it on computer. If you want create illusion of 3D space, okay, operate in the range of a human perception, right? Like you have your own human perception, so you know how to work within its limits so it will look right. So all you need to learn is how to make it look right. And this is how it's always been done. This is how everybody do this. Nobody make perfect work, everybody only make it look perfect. Like it's like a magic trick. Like people may think you're make a real magic, but of course it's not real magic. Of course it's a trick, right? So, and if you ever believe like this artist make perfect work, it's just because you don't understand how he trick in your mind. That's it. It's never like it cannot be perfect, and this is good. It's actually a good aspect of it, right? So okay, so here I just show you like how it's always about same stuff. It's always just XYZ, and this all problem you have is just lack of clarity of this stuff. Because like people like learn this, they understand how to use it in a very basic simple tasks, and then when complexity grows, they start to kind of lost it all. You need to flex your brain, flex your like visual logic, kind of 3D logic, to always kind of see I even don't know what to say. See this kind of, how it's variety kind of same thing. It's just like a dance, So what I was talking here, right? Like now I have like my 3D space. I know where is my XYZ. I have point on a surface. And now I can know exactly where is this point when I drop a Z through this point. Let's use this thread. And X axis through this point. You see, on a surface. So we need surface, we need 2D surface. And only now I have like absolutely clear idea of placement of this point. Because you see, because we have surface, because we have XYZ dimensions. So we can project this point on the surface. And now you see what is invisible here. Why it's clear? Why it's clear? Why is big difference like when it was just point on an empty paper and the point with all this geometry, right? Because now I can unfold this hidden geometry. It's this hidden geometry that this point surrounded with like x-plane like this. Also we have like another x-plane here. Then we have z-plane here. Then we have z-plane here. It's even like, it's kind of, it's incredible how all of this connected some kind of like sacred geometry, because, I just realized it's a cross, right? So we always have like a cross. So every point is the center of a cross. So then you see now each of this point within certain surface and etc. So you need to kind of juggle with this stuff. Axis and planes, axis and planes, points, axis, planes, right? So juggle with them, just get accustomed to them, make your brain think in this language kind of, right? This is like a 3D language, 3D perception. You don't have this naturally like an average human. Average people don't have this trained skill. You train yourself speak. Yeah, you will have this naturally, maybe if like you surrounded with Scott Robertson, right? Like when you foreign language, right? Yeah, you will learn foreign language naturally if you're native surrounded with native speakers, right? But if like most of people, you're not surrounded with the Scott Robertson, like your mother, father, and grandfather, not Scott Robertson, then you need to learn it. You need to train to develop this perception. So everything is like within structure of a 3D space, So, and here now we have this and whatever. So here all these manipulations, it's manipulations with these section cuts, right? So now if we have this section cut, we can keep like modify it. So like Scott Robertson show here, maybe we can make this cut, so we can add one more curve and add some cut. We can add this kind of curve and make it like deep like this. So let's say, for example, so now I have this surface. I can kind of add this curve. And then what I have? So I have same plane and a point on each plane, right? Now in here I have this like vertical plane, y plane, and a point on this plane here. So this line on the ground, this standing like this, 1, 2, 3. So from this area, I can also, instead of having straight line, I can cut it. It can be cut like a curve, or it can be cut with a point. So if I add point, it will be point. So if this surface. So I add this point on this surface, right? And I like make from here to, let's say, here, right? So I make 2 points. So now this section look like this. So modifying, it means we modifying these flat surfaces. Так, up, and here, like instead of 2 straight, I have point here, up, up. And now again we just connect these points. Same. So this point will go here and here. This point also go here, connect to each other. Some shading for convenience. Так. So also, yeah, like you show, we can cut corner here, right? So what will be here? So we have this. Can you see? It's like Z-plane, like this. So we take out this curvature. We have this Z-plane. And then, so I can choose how I will cut. So maybe I say, look, from this point, I will make a line going with the z-axis. So it's parallel to the axis, going this way. Okay, so we'll have this point. So now we have this sharp edge, this sharp edge, this sharp edge here, and we have this 2 point, and we have this 2 point here, like showing us how curvature goes. So I can kind of like follow this curvature from ground. Okay, so, and we have this cut here. So this cut here basically is like mirror, like we take piece from this side projection, right? So it's all this is like very interestingly interconnected, all this like related, and it's very important to, again, you see, it's like a whole idea of this stuff. It's to make sure you see all these connections. That's it. You don't draw pretty pictures. You don't want to make like artworks. It's not art, you know, it's a study. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to make exhibitions from this stuff. Learn to be like introspective in this kind of exercises. You look inside your mind. Like, is this make it clearer for you? Like, do you like improve your vision? Is this like make you more efficient and capable? Or not, or like, or you still don't understand what you're doing, you know? So keep working on it. Just be honest with yourself. You absolutely need this. It's like absolutely necessary to have this ability to be honest, introspective. Otherwise, like, how can you improve? How can you be artist if you cannot judge and how to say, validate or kind of qualify, kind of, right? So you, what are you doing? So you should be first quality control. Like, I don't care what anybody else think unless he's like a master, you know? So yeah, if he master, I apprentice, like, then I listen what he say. all other people, like, I don't care. These people have no idea what I'm doing, because here is so many stuff to have in mind, and if you will not check yourself, if you will not have all this like inner work, nobody will help you with that. Nobody will like look over your shoulder and say like, oh, you kind of need to work harder on this thing here. Do it yourself. Check yourself. Like why is look like this? Uh, am I really understand how it works? Or maybe if I draw like one more time, 10 more times, if I draw like from little different angle, if we draw the stuff like in a 5-point perspective, let's check like, do I really understand how it works? Can I recreate it if like I change angle? If can I recreate if I little make conditions little harder? So work this way, and this how you should make this like 100 drawings exercise. It's not just by sitting like like 1 2 3 4 5. No, it's it's with being like conscious of every drawing you making study with this drawing. It's just like how many of these studies is just one of parameters, because like how to say, like your brain is kind of like an animal, like in Buddhism I think they call it like a monkey brain, right? So you need to also train kind of, you need to harness your brain, right? And this kind of quantity thing is just like one way of how to help yourself to discipline your brain. It's just like, hey, I think I learn. No, it's impossible. I made only 10 studies. I didn't learn for sure. I cannot learn something like this just with 10 drawings, right? So you kind of like you using this quantity amount of work just to check yourself, like is your mind tricking you, so I say like, no, tricky brain, you're trying to fool me. You tell me like you already know everything. No, you lazy brain. No, 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 we need to do one more repetitions. We need to draw more. We need to, maybe I will read whole book from beginning one more time, because my brain will like, oh, I understand everything great. Don't worry, bro, you're a real artist now. I said, of course you will tell me this. I know your brain, you're tricky, lazy monkey. And you do it one more time, and you try and you test and you work on it, right? Did like train and discipline your brain. This kind of what you should do. So let's see. So one more operation we have here. It's like he add this bumps. Yeah, it's like kind of can be like a Windows. Yeah, it's like a Windows, or it also can be like a lights on a car, right? Так. So to draw these bumps, it's like it's like we're drawing this Scott Robertson stuff, but we establish this area on this surface, right? So we say, okay, we have this surface, and here will be like middle, this middle section. So I can make this section like follow curvature of this, or I can be follow this z axis. So y-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So now what we have, like, this is our side projection. Yeah, let's use blue. And we have top projection. So let's say like this. So side projection look like this, or it's like center line, and a top projection like this. So now this top projection one side we transfer to other side, right? We mirror this curve. So this go like this. And then so we have center, top, and I can make it like 3D curve if I will do, but I don't need, right? I need this Z cross sections. So can be like this, for example. So, and then that's how I have this thing here. So really it's like fractal. Just using same approach again and again in different situations. And the whole issue is just lack of such flexibility when you don't see it. When you think like, oh, this thing's so complex, it must require some super secret special technique. And yeah, it's just monkey brain tricks. Say like, lazy brain again. All this time you tell me you know everything. And now you tell me like, it's not a laziness issue, lack of practice issue. You tell me it's a lack of secret knowledge, kind of, you know. And you see, it's kind of fantastic, kind of, it's funny how like marketing manipulates this. Like that's why I say like human brain, human mind being hacked like a long time ago. They already can like manipulate you like a puppet, right? So all this laziness, all this work you can do perfectly yourself. You've been fooled by like marketing telling you like, oh, you need to buy this. Here is secret you're looking for. Here is secret knowledge. Here is secret trick you're looking for. Just need to pay little money, you know. Or like buy this stuff, it will make you like successful or famous or best or bring more attention to you. All this just manipulating your laziness. Like you are not harness your monkey brain, and now they just take your brain for a trip, you know, and you just like, oh, like follow wherever they let you go. They just carry you. So yeah, Virgil, it's really your problem. It's true. And everybody is, and it's like everybody struggle with this. And like I say, this is a very, very big element of artist work, of anyone like creative or engineering, anyone who learning, right? This is kind of very serious thing. Like I wish somebody mentioned it more often. It's lack of this kind of flexibility and discipline, because you need kind of discipline to develop this flexibility, because it's kind of like a gymnastic. It requires gymnastic, you know, like when you watch ballet dancer. It's like you can, like from a first week, you will learn all major moves. You know, like they have this like limited amount of moves in a ballet. Like they have specific names, like some special kind of jump, special kind of like rotation, I don't know, bend or whatever, right? So all these moves you will learn like in the first week. But can you see difference between like someone who dancing for 1 week and somebody who dancing like 10 year, or I don't know how many is it, 20 year, like 10 year, like in like very hard work, hard discipline training with all this same amount of moves? You will see it's like a whole difference. It's there, right? It's just like how you training, how you practice. It's like a juggling again. And if you think it's stupid, it's not stupid, because whole complexity and depth came from this process. Because like depths start to open through building neural network. Unless you build this neural network through repetition, you're not ready for more complex knowledge. You don't have network for it. It's like there is no space for big concepts. You're not open, you're not kind of like create this capacity in your head to kind of really understand these complex concepts. And only practice training, it's only way to create this capacity, create this space. Так. So let's say also here we can make a cut. Так. Yeah, let's say just simple cut here. So basically I just draw 4 lines on a surface. Right? And then I have this point, and I can move this from this point. I can drop line within y-axis. Okay, and I choose like how far. Let's say this far. So now I have depth, right? And then I choose like, okay, what kind of curvature will go here? I cannot eyeball it, because anyways, like if it's my kind of drawing, right? So I will also design this perception, so I can just establish this curvature will be kind of aligned with this curvature, and this point I make a line going to x-axis. So this is how we have this inner like bottom here, right? So if I draw through, it's kind of look like this. If I draw through. Так. Also, yeah, let's do one more here. So again, like here we have this surface, right? We can make kind of cuts. Let's do, or we can do like this. Let's either go this line, can go it this way. And same this line, we kind of continue. And let's go this way. So, and here I can make let's draw this kind of cut. And same, so have this point can go to Z. So if I draw through here, then X, here will be a surface. Так. And I don't know, anywhere can do cuts. So let's say here we can make curve, right? So this curve will make points on these sections. And then I can say, okay, these points, I will do like a reverse curve. Right, so what I did, I kind of like take this Z plan and I cut it like this, right? So I working with 2D forms. So kind of manipulating with 2D forms, we making complex 3D forms. So here. And here's the sink. Так. Okay, so now let's draw one more, just to make more demonstrations kind of this.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Yeah, Vorgio asked, like, is it possible to achieve intermediate level drawing study in Scott Robertson book? Kind of, I was working art teacher in kind of very big art studios. I have like many chapters and stuff. So I was like, once I realized one thing, there is, of course, different levels between teachers. Like teachers from who I've been studying, they're like in a certain, like now my perspective very good, maybe even better than some of them, but like drawing people, for example, oil paintings is like I'm very far from it. So they're like incredible, insane level. Like one of my friend professor, he can draw like really like Michelangelo, maybe even better, because I don't know like how Michelangelo will be drawing like real people, but he can like draw like real people, like real person, like in front of you, just like, and his hatching like look like perfect. It's just like each mark, like each pencil mark look absolutely perfect, and he doing it fast, like look like money, like this portrait on the money, but more kind of more fresh, not so mechanical kind of, right? So he draw like absolutely like looking like he captures soul of a model, like just look exactly, not just like from photograph something, but he kind of capture person with absolutely great technique and stuff. So, and then you look like different type of teachers, right? So who can teach art? Artists to broad, like drawing, painting, or whatever specific subject. It can be people who watch couple tutorials on YouTube, especially like when they work with children, kind of, right? So usually it's this way. Usually it's just teacher who capable to work with children, because not everybody can work with children. Not everybody can be teacher, right? So basically it's like teachers who not artists. And then there other type of art teacher is like artists who teach art. So teachers who teach art, but they're not artists. And artists who might be sometimes not very much like a teacher person, but I consider them as like master apprentice approach, right? So it's like a master, he don't need to know how to like treat his students like, oh, blah 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 blah. Like somebody can be very harsh, somebody can be like brutal, like edgy, or like they're not very well articulate or something. But when you work with them in person, all they need is just to transfer their knowledge into you. That's it. Like, and it always works. This master apprentice approach always works, right? So, and you will only learn if you will listen what he say. So you not question him because you know nothing. You just look like what he say, you copy like every move he do. Yeah, in the end you will be like his kind of like a copycat of him, right? Like that's why like many like famous, like, or I don't know, like all of them can say it's kind of like traditional system, right? All these works which you see being made by this famous artist or sculptor, he being more like project manager. He trained his apprentice, and they do like a lot of physical work, a lot of routine work, and he just like being like quality control. Sometimes, in some cases, sometimes like in a manga drawing, for example, like artist, he draw faces and the environments, special effects, hatching, all the stuff, doing his assistants, right? So students, they're actually like assistants for this artist, for master. So talking about this, what I want to say is like, it's important to understand this, to understand distinction, right? To understand also like who you're speaking with. I don't say like I'm a kind of master or something, but I'm artist who have my ideas, my vision, and my kind of like already have some experience, kind of, right? And also I have teaching experience, so I'm actually also a teacher. So think here it's to speak with very beginners, it requires so many effort. Like you really need to kind of put in like a walk and stairs, go or take a metro, go there and try to figure out like what is happening in your head to try to speak to you. Because when I speak what like I see as answer to your question, I see you don't understand what I'm talking about. So this is kind of barrier distance. So I don't know like what to say else. Like all my videos, I'm talking about how to, for maybe students, for people who study, how to reach, how to listen to like artists, to teachers, to people who have knowledge, right? How to learn from them. So this basically like I'm talking about this all the time. And yeah, and if like again back to this specific question, like will I achieve intermediate level studying Scott Robertson? This question make no sense. It's just it's not like you cannot answer this question with any meaning. It's just meaningless question. Like I know you don't see it this way, and I don't want to say stupid question. No, it's just I mean my answer will be it's like sound for you like I don't answer, but actually it's an answer. Answer is like you should watch this video how to improve. Like you need to really understand this video, because this kind of like main problem which cause you to have this question. So like this kind of questions is not something worth answering. It's this kind of question which is symptom of lack of knowledge. This kind of important also, right? So I see like you asking this question. Okay, I see you can ask it only if you like not really understand what you're talking about. And to help you with that, it's like you watch this video how to improve, and instead of thinking about this, you think about what I'm talking in this video, because it make more sense. It actually makes sense, aside from this question, like what is like intermediate level. It's like it's not exist. There is no intermediate level. Everybody intermediate. And it's like there is no answer for this question, and any way you answer this question, it doesn't help you anyhow. So, but if you will watch this video, like really watch it, so like focus without like TikTok and the reels distraction, kind of just sit, watch, like try to understand what's there. and think about this. And there I have all this clear, like very helpful perspective. So specifically, you need to choose like what kind of art you want to do. Because drawing from Scott Robertson book is not art, it's a gym, right? Like you go gym for a reason. You want to what? You want to impress people in the gym? I see it's kind of, for me, I think it's just dubious, you know. You go to gym to impress people in the gym. I understand sometimes you start to be this way, you know, like, yeah, I can say this, like you go to gym and there everybody has this, like, have a muscle and stuff. It's like, oh, I also want to kind of look like them, and like I want also like they have all this, they lift all this heavy stuff. I also want to be like, don't want to look like I'm worse than them, or like kind of start to compete with people in the gym, something like this, right? But it's it should be not your real goal. You're not going gym to kind of like compete with people in the gym, or some kind of like impressing people in the gym, or it's not worth it, kind of, right? So what kind of art you want to do, actually? Not you know. So, and this what for you study stuff like Scott Robertson book, or like how to I don't know, how to color, how to draw clothing, how to draw faces, how to draw anatomy, how to draw motorcycles. It's a lot of stuff to learn, right? So, and you will like lost in any of this. Each of the direction, it's lead you, you will lost forever there. So only way to manage it is to figure out what is all for. So you want to draw comic book? Start drawing comic book right now. You want to draw illustrations? Draw illustrations right now. Not sketches, not doodles. Draw illustrations as you want them to be. Yeah, there may be perspective will be like not exactly as you want, but it should be finished illustration with an ugly perspective. You know, you maybe perspective will be not perfect, but what can you do? You can make it tidy, right? You can make like it's look nice, kind of maybe some clean colors or clean hatching, or kind of nice looking eyes in the characters, whatever. Just work it, make it look finished as good as you can do it. If you want to make illustration, do them right now. You do them and you produce them regularly. Like how often, how many works you want to create? What is your kind of professional deadlines, kind of, right? Like requirements, like how, like if you're like you can Google, and now with the AI you can also talk all this stuff with AI. Like for example, like how much finished work particular specialist artist should produce in each period of time, right? So it's like if like you are a comic book artist, like in the Marvel, it's like you need to draw 30 pages in 1 month, I think, or 2 months, right? So you can clarify this. Then you say like, okay, I'm not work in the Marvel yet, but this is my schedule. This how much work I should produce, and you work on it. This should be your now. It should be your main schedule. This is what you do. And while you're doing it, you start to see all this problem appear, like, oh, perspective here no good, anatomy something no good. And to fix this on a site, So you keep doing this main work, and on the side, you're doing practice. You're learning like perspective, you're now learning anatomy, separate on the side from your main work. Now, unless you have this main work which you focus on, all the study will only lead you to frustration because it never ends. You will work forever, you will struggle forever. Everybody, like you, every master artist, they're never happy with their skills. Like I don't know, maybe like really genius, kind of some kind of like 1 in a million or a trillion. Maybe this kind of statistically maybe there exist, but it will be like 1 on a trillion people, you know, like you're not one of them. That's 100%. Don't even guess, you know, you are not this kind of person who will ever achieve this level when you're like so great that is really don't have any issues in your skills, you know, like it's always issues. You can only like ignore them for a moment, but if when you have some free time, you say, okay, now I want to kind of fix, like, I feel like I'm little stiff with my perspective, right? So I want to improve. And you go to Jim Bond channel, kind of look, we watch like how he drew this like spiral stair in a 5-point perspective, right? Because usually it's not what you need. But then it's like you've been drawing like a lot of stuff, and then maybe you were somewhere in a beautiful place with crazy spiral stair, and you find it kind of you cannot handle it. So you need to little spend more time to learn how to build it properly in perspective. So you find tutorial and you practice and you fix this specific issue. So do main work and on the side improve your skills. And I explain this in a video how to improve. So it's very important to watch. Like I always say, it's like #1 video everybody should watch. So, and yeah, I think it's like a lot of very helpful information. It's like if this is not clear, then I don't know how to say more. Так.
Who are you?
My name is Bond.
Jim Bond.
Okay. So let's take like a fish eye. Так. So here's the so y curved так in x. Так. So let's see. So here's a box in which I will draw так. So let's see. Here is a site plan. Так, на топ. Так. Так. Let's make an inner line here, so it will be like this curved surface. Так. So let's make inner line go like this. Так, okay. So now we project inner line, make it high points. Так, оп, оп. So it's here. Okay, so I have point here, point here, point here, point here. Maybe one more here. Uh, Here. This one here. So we have this inner edge, and now we draw this outer edge, but we choose how high. So I can draw like points here, or I can draw in the center. So we have this center section, this center cut, like X plane, because if X axis go in this direction, then this middle section it's a X plane, X cut. So on it I can draw a line, right? So let's say like this. So now this line have this intersection with each cut, with each Z cut center line, right? So up. Так. Up. We transfer it. Okay. Here. So we have this line projected on this side, and we can make it. No, I will not draw it projected to other side because it will be just too many lines. But I need to make clear these points. Так. Okay. Points. Okay. Так. So, and now I drop this x-axis through these new points and intersect with this outer edge. Так. Here. Так. Okay, and we can again connect these points. Will be new 3D curve. So now we have this corner. Okay, so and these 2 points I will connect with the curve. Up, up, up. Так, and the other side have this corner curve. Take this corner. Curve like this. It's kind of going overlapped here. No. Okay. So let's make it a little cleaner. So also like in this exercise from Scott Robertson, we can like this flat surface, right? We can make it round. So how we make round? We this center line extend. So say this will be a new side curve. Let's go to center line here. Like this. So now you see we have a new section. So each of this section is like first exercise when we draw curve and mirror curve. So here I draw curve. So let's say I draw this diagonal and draw this line. Draw diagonal. Have this point. Have this curve again here. So here I can like follow, or no, let's do different anyway. So can establish curve. So we have like interesting shape here, not exactly a line. And again I have this curve on one side, make diagonal for example, so find one more point. Now I transfer this point here with this x axis and the diagonal line. Okay, here's kind of align it, unite it with this line. But still, so now I need this twin, twin, twin. So I have point. then I can just eyeball it. Okay, so this is how we make this like flat top surface around it. Then let's see what else we can do, right? Like we can modify here. So this already have surface, right? I can drop curve. Let's make here. So just a random curve. And now what I have? Now I need to map this curve points. So I see this point line on this plane, right? So I already have this plane inside my 3D structure. So it's easy. I have point here. Then I have point on this plane, right? And now I need to figure out where this point. So I can do this by, let's say, many different ways, but let's say I will draw this kind of line. Just see how curvature here might go. Let's say like this. Okay, so now I make this curve line go this way. So then it's just a vertical here, then it's go X, then it's go Y, then it's go here. So I got whole new Z cross section cut. Okay, so it's just like kind of like for maximum clarity. And then let's say I want to, maybe, I don't know, one more curve. One more, let's say like this. And again, I have this point here. This point remain same place. So here I want to build like going inside, right? But if here it's kind of plane and I have 2 points on this plane, so this 2D plane I can make like one more point here, so I will able to establish curvature, right? So can we make this like curve gap. But here I don't have any plane, and here it's just a point. So here is just point, right? So it's just kind of this. How to build here? To build a curvature here, to make it precise, because of course I can just doodle it, but to make it precise, I need to make one more cross section, right? So I need to establish one more cross section and find, okay, points here, make third point here, and say, okay, this will be curvature. Now it's look like more developed, kind of more precise, right? So because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point for outer side, and I have 3 point for centers, like a peak or bottom kind of, right? So and I can hatch it this way. So it's interesting how it works. It's like exactly how you kind of will make a ship from wood, you know, if you find like how ship made, right? So it has this like wooden planks. They will attach to this kind of ribs, right? So kind of all this same, because boats are 3-dimensional. So our world 3-dimensional is very universal principles, and kind of not artists, they're not aware of this, they don't clear understanding about this stuff, and as artists we need to train it. Same as like athletes, right? Like everybody know how to run and stuff, but there is difference between runners and just some average people who can run. So here, right, I have this surface, whoop, make curve. So will be my point. So I have 1, 2, 3, and I need more here. So I can actually, I don't need to build like whole big crazy section here. I can just use this small area because actually I have all I need. I have this line, right? I have this surface, I have this surface, and I have this angle. So I can build, let's say, 2 more sections like this, right? I have these points, and draw here, and draw here. Okay, so I have 2 more sections. Now I look for points. This, I look this point. Let's say, if I go like this, and okay, so each of this Z section have this kind of shape. Okay, so it's kind of how it works. So let's do axis. Then let's do like cut like this. So I can do like different ways, right? I can make it again like from side view, top view, like create curves and then project new points, or I can start with drawing on a surface because I already have surface. It can be point on each edge, or I can just first make a line. Let's say like this, and then I establish points, like how this line intersect each section. So this is just a line on a surface on the side of this form. And here what I have, a second.
Subscribe, Keyboard Art. You now have 15 seconds to comply.
So, and now I need to look again like for each section, and here I have curve. So I will better create one more point. Now I need to have a cross section for this point. So I will follow direction of this, right? Then I see this point here, this point here. Go to center, going up here. And let's say like this. So, and now for each of them, I will think like, okay, like same like here, where will be point, like what kind of curvature I want to establish there. So let's say point will be here. So will be like this. Okay. So I will keep bottom points and so this go like this. So here will be this curve. And again, you see, like, curve, for me it should be clear. So this edge of the section go like this, whoop whoop. Then this edge of this the section, okay, where is cut? Like, cut this way. Okay, so it's like this. This we already establish here again. So I'm making kind of point on each flat surface. And here. Okay. So what else? So we can do like gap in here. So we have this point. Let's transfer it like this. Okay. So this line, it's side. It's this side, kind of side view or middle section cut, like X plane, right? So I can draw new cut on it. Okay, so let me clarify. Okay, so here I have side view, and I make new cut on this side view. So when I project it, now I have new coordinates of this cut. Okay. Так, so I look, okay, maybe maybe here. So here will be my points, and then this z-axis go in here, and here will be deep point. So I make curve. So this curve, it's on this flat side. Okay, and now let's kind of cut this, or kind of like if we cut from round surface like this. So I will show what I mean. So here, this point on the surface. Так, here's y-axis. Y-axis. Так. Да-да-да. Так. So let's go to here. Oh, second. Here. Yeah. Go here. Dun, dun, dun. So then we look here, some mistake somewhere. Так. Okay. Так. Then we have this point. Here. This point. Partner. Look like a fish. Так. Okay, so and let's make here. So have two surface. And we can make a bump here. Так. So it's like pilot cabin kind of. So it's Go like this. Come here and let's make a gap. So, that's already a lot of cut. Here. It's kind of exercise. So that's it for today. See you next tutorial.